What is up, you guys? Welcome back to our little urban homestead here in South Dakota. For those of you that don't know, my name is Quincy. I got a exciting package from Botanical Interests. They had a big old seed sale, and so I was able to snag a bunch of really cool stuff, and I figured I would show you guys. For those of you that don't know, I'm like a religious Jessica Soward's Roots and Refuge viewer. I love their channel so much, and I've learned a huge amount of information from Jessica and her family. So she had posted her seed haul, and I figured why not post mine too, because I found out about the sale because of her. Botanical Interest did a really big like clearance sale to close out all of this year's seed because they're not allowed to like sell it next year if it's packaged for this year. So they had a big, huge list of all these seed varieties that were, you know, some of them were like 40 to 60% off. It was really awesome. So I was able to snag some really cool stuff, and I figured I would show you guys and give you kind of an idea of like varieties that I like to grow, and also to tell you that this is a really good time of year to stock up on your seeds. A lot of people may not think that July is a good time to stock up on seeds, but there are tons of companies that are clearancing their seeds, just like Botanical Interests or like your local gardening stores. They're going to be trying to sell all of the 2022 inventory to make space for next year's seeds. So this is a really good time to stock up, and if you just store your seeds in a cool, dry place, they can last years. If you put them in the freezer, they'll last even longer. So if you are someone that's financially minded or on a budget for your garden, now is a really good time to find those varieties of seeds. So this is a good time of year to go and search out those seeds instead of waiting until winter or waiting until next spring when things are going to be going out of stock, things are going to be selling out, and you don't want to miss out on some of these varieties. So now is just a really good time to jump around into some of the different seed companies and see if they're selling anything out. I think that Botanical Interest is actually done with their clearance sale, but it's a good reference for next year that they, in late June, early July, they like to clearance their seeds. So I figured I would show you guys what I got. I usually do this on Instagram, but I figured this would be a fun place to do it instead, just to keep things fun and interesting and new, and add some different content to my YouTube channel. So here is a big bag of the Fiesta Blend nasturtium. I love nasturtiums. Some places in the country they grow as a weed, but not here, and I love them. I've been growing them since I lived back in Oregon, but they just go absolutely bonkers here in South Dakota. So I like to grow these. They're also rabbit and deer resistant, which is cool if you're a person that has those kind of issues in your growing space. But they're all parts of this plant are edible, and they're beautiful, and the pollinators love them. They're also a great companion plant, and they deter some pests. So let's see here. We'll start out with the Clemson spineless okra. I love okra. I think I might actually have enough time to plant some of these. I've been having trouble with okra this year. The roly-polies or the grasshoppers, I'm not sure which. I'm pretty sure it's the roly-polies. They are just cutting them down. The second they germinate and they're like this big, they just chop the heads off and like they just die. And that is really aggravating to me, because okra is not only something that's really good for you, super tasty, we love to freeze it and dehydrate it, but it's also kind of a sentimental crop for us. The first time I ever had it was with my husband Spencer's grandparents, and he grew up on his grandparents' okra, and they would send us home with like vacuum freezer bags full of okra, and we just love okra. So it's a pretty big bummer that I'm having such an issue getting this to grow. Last year my okra plants were like 4 to 5 feet tall, and they were glorious, and we just ate so much okra. It's really good for fresh eating, but also really wonderful frozen. It comes back really well. Really good in stir fries. I got 2 varieties of poppies. I am like all about the black flowers right now. I think everybody kind of is. So I got some black swan poppies, and then I also got the Hungarian blue breadseed ones because I thought that would be cool too. I've never grown poppies before, so that'll be kind of a fun learning experience for me. But I also would love to be able to just harvest our own poppy seed. Like, come on, that sounds amazing. Let's see here. I did get more of the darker hollyhocks. These aren't like a black variety, I don't think, but they're called the Watchmen. I adore hollyhocks, you guys. You probably already know this about me, but they are oh, it says these towers of edible, nearly black, satiny blossoms are a wicked addition to the back of the flower border or along a fence and stunning in a flower arrangement. I had no idea that they were edible. I am gonna have to look that up and see if there's something that I can do with them, because like that just blew my mind. I already love them just for the novelty purpose and the beauty of them. I have a.
Is the water running down there?
I don't think so. Why? I already love hollyhocks. I have a big patch of them outside my bathroom window. But these are gorgeous, the Watchmen. So here is African Love. So, Love in a Mist, African Bride. I'm trying to expand my flower growing. These look like they're kind of related maybe to Cosmos. They have kind of a similar foliage, but they're absolutely beautiful. So I'm trying to add in more flowers into our garden spaces. Here's another one, Grandpa Ott's Morning Glories. I've tried to I have tried to grow these before and not had much success. But I have actually read the story about how these came into the United States, and it's pretty cool. So here's another beautiful vining plant. Let's see here. I got some. Now bear in mind, a lot of these seeds I'm not even going to try to plant this year. These are mostly seeds for next year. Oh, there's the sirens. We live a mile from the hospital and like 2 blocks from a fire station. So definitely living in the city. A lot of these seeds I'm going to be showing you I bought for next year's garden. So I will be trying to plant a little bit of the okra, but as far as the hollyhocks and the morning glories and the poppies, those are all things that I'm going to be saving. These are just going in my seed stores until next year. Same with these sugar baby watermelons. I've had these before and I love them. We got some lettuce leaf basil. Now there is enough time in the year or in the season for me to still get some of these harvested. This is a lettuce leaf basil. I have not grown lettuce leaf basil, but I've heard a ton about it and I cannot wait to try it. So it says that you can sow after the last chance of spring frost, but you can actually sow them into the late summer. They're pretty quick to grow. So I got 2 different kinds of amaranth. I got the Hot Biscuits amaranth and then this Love Lies Bleeding. Amaranth is another thing that I have yet to really try to grow, but I thought it would be really fun for cut flowers. I'm definitely like trying to up my flower game and cut flowers. I would love to be able to be gifting bouquets to my friends and my neighbors. So that's just a goal of mine. Is one of my favorite flower varieties. I have been growing Bells of Ireland for a couple years now, and I keep them in my garden all the time. They actually do pretty well at self-seeding themselves if you let them. So I do cut them for cut and dried flowers and bring them in the house, but I do try to leave a few really big towers so that they will go to seed, and then I will I do harvest some of them for seeds and come and bring it inside and store it that way. So I kind of do a little bit of both. I let them self-seed, but I also want to kind of like make sure that I'm getting seed for myself if I want to put them in a new location, so I'll save seeds from them. I got 2 packets of that because why not? I don't ever want to run out of it. They're kind of the namesake flower for our oldest daughter, Ireland, so we love to keep them around. They also have this wonderful, like, citrusy, I don't know, it just like smells like green. It's wonderful. They smell amazing. And they also dry, as a dried flower, they turn into this beautiful beigey tan color, and they stay really intact while the bells do. I got more calendula because you can never have too much calendula. This is the Zeolites calendula. It's also called pot marigold.
You can have too much calendula.
No, you can't. My oldest daughter. You can never have too much calendula. Clean the playroom. So it's an ornamental, but calendula is amazing for your skin, and you can make salves out of it, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So there's that one, plus the pollinators love it. Okay, 2 more here, more flowers. So back at my house where I grew up and where we lived before we moved to South Dakota, we had blue flax all over the place in this one part of mine and my mom's garden. And I did bring some here with me, and I've tried to get it to like establish, but it hasn't just taken off the way that. Okay, we're back. Had to change batteries. So I think I left off talking about the flax. So we used to grow blue flax back at my mom's place where we used to live back in Oregon, and I just haven't got it to establish here a whole lot. I have some plants that Spencer accidentally kind of weed whacked, and I think they're coming back okay now, but we'll see. But I love the beautiful airiness of flax. They're really pretty, and they close up at night and then open up again. So I got the scarlet flax, as well as the blue and breezy, which is the one that we used to grow before. And they're just really pretty. They're drought resistant, which is really cool. They're really great. It just has wildflowers, and I really love them. I think they actually, they're really great for pollinators. I thought maybe they were edible, but maybe they're not. But they're drought resistant, which is good for here. Really great for the pollinators. Okay, next one is probably not necessary because I still have birdhouse gourd seed, and I harvested some seed off of the birdhouse gourds that we grew. Can't guarantee that they wouldn't be like a hybrid possibly though, because I don't control the pollination on any of my squash, gourd, pumpkin plants. But so I bought some more birdhouse gourds. The kids and I adore these. They're really kind of like a novelty ornamental thing that you don't eat them, but you can make a bunch of stuff out of them. And if you've never grown birdhouse gourds, do it just for the velvety, wonderful nature of the plants. Most squash plants and things have kind of a spiny, prickly feel. Birdhouse gourds feel like velvet. Like when you pet the leaves and touch the leaves, it feels like velvet in your hands. And that's like one of the reasons why they'll always be in my gardens. They'll always have a place because of that, and because they're so fun to do stuff with. You can make bowls, canteens, birdhouses, all sorts of stuff with them. Actually, maybe they're not. The kids had a couple. Oh yeah, there's one up in the tree above us. So they're just really fun. So I got more of those just so I never run out. Yes, we can make bowls. I have one more actually in the house that we didn't.
I meant water bottles and bowls and everything.
Yeah.
I wanna have like a mini one that's like this big that I can just carry water in and like.
That would be cool. So another thing we got is a purple Beauty sweet bell pepper. Another thing that I've not had the greatest success with, but just because I haven't had success with it doesn't mean that it's not possible. So there's the purple sweet bell pepper. This is fun. I have seen these all over the place. The Jarradale pumpkin.
I like pumpkin.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
The only thing you should be buying is pumpkins. Is it actually blue? Mm-hmm. Whoa. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like a bluish green. It's got kind of like a grayish, gray, blue. I thought it would be fun to buy some pumpkin varieties that are out of the norm, that are not, average.
At least you bought something fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I bought the sugar pie pumpkin for storage, pumpkin for pies. It's a sweeter pumpkin for eating, and just a good one to have around.
I like this one. It's pretty. Mm-hmm. Does it actually look like the same in the picture?
Yeah, it looks like that. Next thing that's up is the scallop blend patty pan squashes. I've grown these before, and I don't know why I forgot to buy seeds of them this last year. But
that's the thing that you made us eat.
Yeah, they're pretty yummy.
It's delicious with brown sugar.
Yeah, with brown sugar. And then this is a fun one. I got the Lakota squash. I really like to try to grow things in my garden that you can't just get at the store.
I love eating that.
And then another pretty basic one, the 5-color silver beet Swiss chard. I love Swiss chard. It's very good sauteed in butter.
And this one.
Yep. Okay, the next one is just a kind of a random tomato that was in the sale list. Hold on a second, please. It was just in the sale list, the Ace 55. Just a good tomato to have around. Okay, next up is the pineapple ground cherry. I've never done pineapple ones, but we love ground cherries. I wasn't able to get any into the garden this year. They take a long time, so it's a little too late. But next year, we're gonna hit it hard with the ground cherries because they are like garden candy. They are so amazing, and we love those.
No.
You can hold that. Okay, next thing is, this is gonna be a plant this year situation because you plant these, I think it said like, before frost tolerant, 60 to 70 days, sow in the summer for fall harvest. Yeah. Yep, those are instructions. Thank you. So we're gonna sow these here soon. And those are black radishes, you guys. Round black Spanish radishes. So I thought that would be fun to try. And then here is some stuff that we will be planting this year. I got 2 packets of the Kentucky Wonder pole beans. I wasn't sure if these would be here in time for me to plant them in my 3 sisters, and my 3 sisters garden is already kind of grown really tall. I mean, it's probably waist, maybe chest high, but there are some sides that are exposed to the sun that I think I can get some beans sown in there okay. Because, you know, just with my leg and trying to get everything done, not everything has been ideal in my garden this year, so we just got to keep rolling with it. Kentucky Wonder pole beans, I'll be trying to sow some of those maybe today if I get a chance. And then, yeah, Brussels sprouts. So these are the Long Island Improved. I've always like planted my Brussels sprouts, and then when it gets hot, they just stop growing, and so it's confusing, and you're like, what's going on? Should I pull it out? Is it dead? Should I keep trying? From what I have read, it's best to just let them kind of stall out their growth. They're gonna plateau a little bit. Keep them protected from the bugs as best you can, and then when it cools off, they will explode and start, you know, brustling, creating their Brussels sprouts, and you can actually keep them alive, keep them producing into like January and February if you're, you know, especially if you're going to cover them with frost cloth, which I am. So I'm going to actually sow some more Brussels sprouts and see if we can create some winter, fall, or some fall and winter gardening in our area. Maybe see if we can, I need to get new frost cloth because the wind destroyed mine last year. See the wind. But I might try to use my greenhouse plastic and see if I can just kind of create some little like greenhouse hoop houses over my raised beds. And then this was actually a thank you packet of seeds. How did they know that I love sunflower seeds? So that's a tall sunflower, just a pretty basic one. You can never have enough sunflowers, never. And then we've got some little finger carrots. I am not the best carrot grower. I keep trying, and one day I'm gonna figure it out. So I'm still trying to create that, you know, perfect carrot crop. From what I am understanding, I just need to focus on doing it in a more cooler time of year because it gets so dang hot here. And the cool, moist parts of the year are just much more conducive to carrot growing. So these are cute, the little finger carrot. Okay, I'm losing track of where I am. Brussels sprouts. Okay, here's another absolute favorite, also kind of like a sentimental one. Spencer's grandparents would grow this every year. That's the first place I ever tried the lemon cucumber, was at his grandma's house, and this, even the peel is really tender and tasty, and so you can slice this and it's just really amazing. Here's another thing that I'm probably going to try to sow this fall, the Nero Toscana kale. I love kale. I like to keep it around. It's really easy to overwinter and grow in the wintertime. It actually tastes better when it's had a frost. It's a little bit sweeter, so that's a fun one. Here is a red Russian kale. My favorite by far is the curly ones, the curly leaf. I don't know if I have any curly leaf kale or not, but that's by far one of my favorites, but I thought it'd be fun to try some different ones. So there's the red Russian kale. And then I already have a ton of different lettuce varieties, but I got some of the Marvel of Four Seasons. I adore red leaf lettuce. It's my favorite. If I was going to pick, I would probably always pick a red leaf. So there's that one. And then I got a mesclun chef's mix, because this probably has a little bit of arugula in it, and I love arugula, a little bit of like mustards and stuff in it. Oh, here it says red salad bowl, tango, royal oak leaf, black seeded Simpson, Grand Rapids, red sales, and other greens, arugula 20%, green endive 5%, Mizuna mustard 5%. So that's pretty cool. I love lettuce mixes. And then we have 2 different varieties of peas that I'll be doing this fall. So I got 2 packets of the Green Arrow shelling pea, because I would love to be able to store up some shelling peas. They taste so wonderful. And then these are my favorite. I got some of these from a friend that she saved seeds from, and I only had a few, but they're wonderful. The Sugar Magnolia Snap Pea. They are so beautiful and they taste wonderful. So I'll be planting probably a packet of each this fall, and then save the other 2 packets for next spring. Those kind of things, like peas and beans. If you're trying to feed a large family, like I have 7 people to feed in my family, planting just 1 packet of beans or seeds is kind of a joke. So usually I will get like packets like this size of peas or beans. I actually have a 1 pound packet of beans from Johnny Seed that I got 3 years ago, and the germination on them is still wonderful. Those are bush beans, but I have gotten so many beans off of that huge packet of seeds, because I need to plant like a lot of beans if I'm actually gonna hope to like make a meal out of it. Because if you just plant 1 packet of seeds, you're probably gonna come out every day and maybe get like a handful, maybe 2 handfuls if you only do 1 packet. So if you're actually trying to grow a bulk, like a bumper crop of beans or peas, you need to plant a lot of seeds, because each plant on its own is only going to produce so many seeds anyways, especially peas. You need to plant them pretty early in the year, in the spring, if you're going to hope to have harvesting throughout the spring, because once it gets hot, peas just want to die. No matter what you do, no matter how often you're harvesting on them, eventually with the heat, they're just going to peter out. So I love peas, and so do my kids. They're coming out constantly and just eating fresh peas off the vine. And then we got some zinnias. I love zinnias for cutting flowers. They're also really easy to save seed from, so these are the giant purple. And then Viola Johnny Jump Ups. My mom had these like that would seed themselves naturally in her gardens back home, and I loved it when they would just pop up in the cracks of the sidewalk or just in random spots. So I love those. And then I got 2 peppers. We got the shishito, and then that's a chili, and then this Jimmy Nardello sweet pepper. So there you have it. I would love to be able to create like my own hot sauces, and maybe like canning peppers or freezing them, dehydrating them, saving them for red pepper flakes. This box probably would have been well over like $100 to $150, but I got it for like around $76. So any way that I can find to either buy seeds in a sale, or discounted seeds, or just buying little like orders of seeds from different companies, because I have several companies that I love to buy from. Botanical Interest is one of them. I also love to buy from, and a lot of these are actually organic too, which is kind of cool. I also love to buy from Baker Creek and Seed Savers Exchange, and Territorial Seed is the one back in Oregon that I like to support, and Johnny Seed. If you have a chance to hit up some seed sales, now is a good time to do it, and get them, stored away and save them till next year, so you're not scrambling in the spring to try to get seeds before they sell out, because that can be really a big bummer if you have certain varieties that are like your favorites or your staples, or things that you want to try that are new. Can be a huge bummer if you miss the boat and then they're sold out and you have to wait till the next year. So I always try to take advantage of that stuff when I can. And now I am going to go put together a garden bench that my mom got me. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Maybe I'll show a little bit of the garden bench build, because every garden needs a place to sit and just enjoy it. So my mom is my biggest like benefactor and supporter when it comes to gardening. She's just wonderful, and she works at a hardware store right now, and they have a great gardening section. And of course, stores, once it's July, they want to get rid of all of the garden stuff and they want to move into a totally different, you know, like summer and, you know, like boating and pool supplies, and then fall, and they just, you know, they stop supplying the garden people, which I think is such a big bummer, because it just like kind of tells people that they can't continue gardening, and that's so not true. You can totally continue gardening into the fall and even into the winter in some places, especially if you're willing to protect your plants. So I think it's a huge bummer that stores just like switch gears so quickly. So she was able to get me a garden bench on a discount, which is like such a killer like deal, and I'm super stoked about it. So I will show you guys the garden bench when I'm all done with it, and I hope you have a wonderful day.